Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Courtney. We switched that up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little funny. We are definitely reversed a little bit tonight. Well, welcome to our podcast for tonight. We're so glad that you could join us. If you want to, feel free to um, let us know where you're watching from. Do you want to turn that off?
Yes.
Sorry. Where you're watching from, whether you're one of our regulars or whether you're a newcomer here. We love our regulars, but we also very much enjoy new faces around here too. So let us know. Good evening, Radina. Welcome back.
Hello.
Radina is one of our regulars. So happy to have her here with us today. We're going to have a really good discussion tonight. Feel free to pop in some comments, questions, whether it's related to the topic or not. We love um, interactive podcasts.
Yes.
So the more comments, the better. So welcome Cindy from Tennessee. So our neighbor from the north. Yeah. Got Naomi from Kentucky. Not too far from Kentucky either. And Linda, hello. Welcome back, Linda. All right, we're just going to give us a little bit more chance to have some more people join, but we do have some really good stuff to talk about. But it might not necessarily be the easiest to hear because we know we all like it to live in, we live in an instant society. But if you want to discuss and kind of intro our topic for tonight.
Yes. Our topic tonight is lasting results don't come overnight. A lot of times with health journeys and weight loss, you kind of expect to see results immediately.
Mhm.
And sadly, that is not always the case. So we're just going to talk about that and ways to keep going when you want to see results that you're not seeing immediately.
Absolutely. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is in all of our journeys, the most successful we've ever been is when we've kind of taken it slow and steady. And so that's going to be kind of our mantra and our encouragement to help make sure that you have the strength to keep going.
Sorry, my dad's calling me.
Yes. All right. So did you want to talk about the first point?
Yes. But it is very common to want to lose weight
Oh, yes.
quickly. But the reality is that for sustainable and healthy weight loss, it takes time and consistent effort. We live in the microwave society. You want everything done then and there, quick, and that's just not always the case. So and sadly, like I said, we want it now.
Hmm.
And it's something that takes a lot of time, and in our case, a lot of time. We've been on this thing for 5 years,
Hmm.
and it's a lifelong thing. So it's not something that's going to happen instantly, and that's very sad.
Yes, so we got to kind of take ourselves out of the mindset. While we have a microwave and we can heat up our food, microwave isn't always the best. Sometimes, granted, it is great for popcorn and certain things, but I personally don't like my meat reheated in the microwave. To me, it just tastes icky. So I kind of correlate that to our health journey. Um, the faster is not always going to be better. It's more sustainable when you do it over a period of time. Not only that, but I feel like your body has a chance to kind of get used to the decline in weight versus kind of I think I would imagine losing a large amount of weight at one time can be kind of a shock to your body as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. And the thing is, when you first start any sort of health journey, any sort of diet per se, you're going to lose weight fast
Hmm.
initially. You're losing body, not body, well, you are losing body fat, but water weight.
Hmm.
I mean, when I first started, I lost like 10 pounds of body weight in the first, not body weight, water weight
Hmm.
in the first week. You're going to lose water weight quick. And sometimes it can be frustrating to lose that weight very quickly in the beginning. And then the next, like after that, it's like half a pound here, a quarter of a pound there, 2 pounds there, 1 pound there. It can be very frustrating. So do not
Hmm.
base your like first or second week of any sort of health journey on what you're going to lose continuing on. Because like when we first started, we were like, oh, we lost 10 pounds this week. If we can continue this, we're going to be down 100 pounds in like 3 months. No, that's not sustainable. So do not base your initial weight loss on how you feel the rest of your health journey is going to go.
Also, to kind of to play on that, back in the beginning of the journey, we were pretty big. I was 455 pounds. So me doing a 30-minute treadmill exercise, I burned like 700 or 800 calories, and I wasn't even running because even to this day, I really can't run that well. But my body was bigger. And so it was easier to burn those calories. Me now at 345 pounds, I get on the treadmill for 30 minutes and do the same pace as I did before. I can barely burn like 300 calories. So definitely, physically, as you go on, it will slow down, and the smaller you are, the more harder you will have to work to burn those same calories you
Mhm.
did when you were then.
Yes, and on Instagram, someone said slow and steady also helps with firming. Take
Mhm.
your measurements in addition to how your clothes fit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have heard that like when it comes to losing loose skin, I mean, it's just inevitable, it's gonna happen. But I have heard the slower you lose,
Mhm.
you do have less loose skin. The faster you lose, the more loose skin there is. You don't have as much time to firm any of it up.
Mhm.
So slower weight loss does help in the long run, even though I know we want it like now.
Mhm. Absolutely. And so we kind of wanting to discuss what is, a sustainable weight loss. The average is going to be 1 to 2 pounds a week is kind of the healthiest
Hmm.
weight loss. You can lose a little bit more. You can lose a little bit less. Depends on your body, but that's kind of about the average. That's kind of what we're hoping for, 1 to 2 pounds per week. So that's, you know,
About 50 pounds a year,
yeah,
50 to 100.
which is pretty
And that's pretty,
substantial.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
considering we've lost 110 pounds each or so
Hmm.
now. It's pretty that that's really sustainable.
Yes. This year so far, I have lost 20 pounds and we are in week 33. I actually looked it up today. This is the
Mhm,
33rd week of the year. So I am, like I said, I've been on this thing for 5 years. In the beginning, I could lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Now, like that average is like 0.75, point 0.6, something like that, a week. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with saying this year I've lost 20 pounds. So it's really how you look at it, because it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be overnight. So just losing, even if you just lose 5 pounds in a year, that's 5 pounds less than you were last year. And that's still something to be celebrated and incredible.
and then also think about all the other health benefits, even if you only, and I say only loosely, only is still really good. If you only lost 5 pounds, but you were consistent with your diet and exercise, you're going to have a lot of other health benefits.
Hmm.
Your clothes are going to fit better. You are going to get winded less by doing things. You're going to be able to go up the stairs or chase those kids or grandkids and be less winded. So we've said this multiple times. If we don't ever lose any more weight, we're fine as long as we keep our eating and our exercise going so that we can keep those other parts of us healthy.
Yes, absolutely. And like you said with the clothes, if you lose too fast, you're gonna like be blowing money on clothes back and forth because you're
Mhm,
gonna be in one size and then a month later in another, and you're gonna be blowing that money on tons and tons of clothes.
mhm,
So losing slower also helps with your pocket a little bit
mhm.
as well.
It helps the wardrobe a little bit, but also just in the past when we've lost large amounts of weight real quick, we've also gained it back.
Mhm.
So it's you might buy more clothes and then have to go back to those old ones, and no one ever wants to go back to those larger clothes.
Yes, because there are these diets where you can lose fast. I have friends that have gone on certain diets and they've lost like 50 pounds in like 3 months. The thing is they gained it all back. It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't
Mhm,
something that they could keep doing. It was a restricting diet that made them lose way too quickly.
mhm.
So if you're doing something restrictive where you are losing more than those 1 to 2 pounds a week, it's probably something that's not sustainable, and it is probably something that's going to cause you to gain the weight back once you go off of it because of it not being sustainable.
Absolutely. So one of the great things about the healthy program itself is the program is designed to help you build those better relationships with the food. It helps you build better habits with your portion sizes and what you eat.
Mhm.
And those are going to be the things that carry you through your extended years,
Mhm.
up to your goal and then past to maintain it, because we've mentioned that we had a plateau. We were stuck for like a year and a half, but we didn't gain that back because we were still on plan, and we were being as consistent as possible. And so it's okay if we didn't lose that way, but we are definitely in a downward
Mhm.
trend now, which is really, really good because we always like seeing those numbers go down, but we are still seeing those other benefits.
Yes, absolutely.
Less body aches like back aches. We'll be able to stand up and move around without having our backs go, oh
Mhm.
man, my back
Walking
hurts so
around the
much.
mall without my knees hurting. I have bad knees, but being more active has definitely helped them. I still have moments where my knees hurt, but nowhere near as bad as they did before. And it is because of my activity. And I also think it could also be because I have less weight on my knees.
Hmm.
So definitely a ton of health benefits. But also with your health comes there are some health struggles that will cause you to lose weight slower. I have PCOS,
Mhm.
and it does cause me to lose weight slower. I did not think it would take 5 years to lose 100 pounds. If I'm being completely honest with you, I was thinking maybe 1, 2 years tops. Here I am 5 years later, and I am down 104 pounds. So, but I am down 104 pounds. We're not going to focus on the time, guys. We're not, because it's not an overnight thing. We're not going to focus on the time. Be proud of what you've done. If it's taken you 5 years to lose 30 pounds, be proud of that.
Mhm.
You've lost 30 pounds. So, and like I said, some people do have those health struggles that will cause them to lose weight a lot slower.
Insulin resistance. Also, some people just have issues, health issues that keep them from being as active as they probably they probably would like to be, and that also may slow down your weight loss journey, and that is okay.
Mhm.
As long as you keep pushing forward and keep making those changes that are going to help you in the long run.
Yes, it's also a matter of how consistent you are. Because when we went through that plateau for that 1.5 to 2 years, honestly, we weren't as consistent as we should have been. We were on a week, off a week. We'd eat great here, not so great there. We'd go to the gym this week, but the next week we wouldn't. We were not consistent at all. So we were doing just enough to maintain,
Hmm.
but we were not doing enough to lose weight. So sometimes you got to be honest with yourself. And, if you aren't losing as quickly as you feel, ask yourself, am I being consistent, or am I just basically pushing through enough to maintain?
Brings back one of our topics we had ages ago. Is it really a plateau, or are you just not being consistent enough? Because during those periods of time, we would be consistent with our diet, our eating, but not consistent with our exercise. Then we would be consistent with our exercise, and then not be consistent with our eating. And those two go hand in hand. It's not really easy to be on this journey and not have both of those. You need both some certain amount of activity along with your healthy eating as well.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing to remember is you did not gain all this weight overnight. You didn't. So you're not going to lose it overnight. It is impossible to lose. And I know, like, when I say overnight, people don't really think they're going to lose 100 pounds overnight. But you didn't gain all this weight in that short amount of time.
Mm-mm.
So you're not going to lose all this weight in that short amount of time.
Yeah, granted, sadly, it is a little easier and faster to gain it than it is to lose it. But it took probably years of us not being careful to get up to our highest point. So I didn't get up to 455 pounds overnight. I did that over the course of 5 to 7 years.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, you did not lose it all, gain it all overnight. So you're not going to lose it all overnight.
Mhm.
So we really have to stop having that microwave mentality when it comes to weight loss, because like we've said multiple times, um, it's just it's a lifetime thing.
It is. It's a lifetime. Linda mentions that she was on a 10-year plateau until she changed things up. That is absolutely okay. You are changing things up and you're making progress now. And that's the most important thing, is to make sure that we look at the past and use it as a tool, like we talked about last week, to not feel too bad about where we were, but use that as motivation to keep going forward.
Yes, and while it is not an overnight thing, sometimes there are just things you need to change if you do want to lose weight.
Mhm.
Sometimes you are trying, and sometimes you do think you're doing what you're supposed what you think you're supposed to be doing, and you're still not seeing the results you should be seeing. And that's why we love that Healthy has all the plans that they have. Switching it up helps a lot. If you are on Better Balance and it's not working for you, switch to something like Carb Conscious, or or the calories. We will switch it up to calories when we're trying to maintain, because it gives us a little bit more freedom. So like sometimes you just need to switch things up if you are not losing, because while it is not an overnight thing, you should still be seeing some sort of results if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, even if it's just like a pound a month.
Mhm.
You should be seeing some sort of results. And sometimes you do just have to push through that plateau, but switching it up sometimes helps too.
And then we mentioned this before too. Also, if you're not seeing those results, look for the non-scale victories to help give you that encouragement, because there could be other reasons. You could be
Mhm.
gaining muscle mass, in general. So just don't get too disheartened if that number doesn't change too
Yes,
much.
because like someone mentioned on here, taking your measurements helps a ton. Because I was gaining muscle and I was gaining weight when I started strength training, but I was losing, yeah, I was gaining muscle, but I was losing fat
Hmm.
and I was losing inches. And if I didn't take my measurements, if I didn't take those pictures, I wouldn't have known that. So take the pictures, take the measurements, because they're going to show you things that your weight will not show.
Hmm.
Weight is not the only determining factor of your health.
Mhm.
That's why I hate the BMI chart so much. I hate the BMI chart. Don't tell me that I need to be 150 pounds to be healthy when if I just I don't believe in the BMI chart. So because there's so much more than just weight. There's blood work, there's your muscle mass, there's all these kind of different things. So
Mhm.
don't just look at weight when it comes to your health.
Even at our daughter's last doctor's appointment with her pediatrician,
Pediatrician.
she said she's this high in the percentile, but don't pay attention to that because she is a very healthy. So it
Yeah.
goes for kids
Because
and adults.
she was very high in the weight percentile, but she was also off the charts in the height percentile. So she was like, that's why.
Yep. So those I think are good for general guidelines, but everybody is different, so it's kind of hard to put that in a small box.
Yes, but also when it comes to not losing everything overnight, having a goal weight in mind is great, but sometimes it's also not.
Hmm.
Because you want to see that goal weight very quickly. So that's why we say, I think we even just mentioned it last week, having small goals.
Hmm.
Having the small goals that help get you there. Because like if I just look, because my goal weight is 180, that's where I really want to be. I would still be considered obese, fun fact, on the BMI chart. And that's why I hate the BMI chart. It might be overweight at that point. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. My goal weight is 180 pounds. But I try not to look at that very often because if I think, oh my goodness, I'm still over 100 pounds away from my goal weight, I still have more weight to lose than I have lost. That is very frustrating, you guys. That's very frustrating. So sometimes you need to get rid of those goal weights and have the small little goals to get you there because when you're not going to get there as fast as you think
Hmm.
sometimes, and it can be very frustrating.
So break it up, and also don't get attached to your goal weight. I don't really have
Mhm.
a goal weight in mind. I'm wanting to say that on paper I should be like 230 pounds,
Yeah.
but I'm at 6'8". I don't know how that would. So I have kind of a range in mind. I'm aiming for at least the 200s. To be under 300 and then see where my body is. We have our gym has one of those body scan where we can get a pretty good idea of where we are fat wise and muscle wise. And that I'm going to be using those scans to
Yes.
kind of help determine where my end goal is. Also, I will probably have some weight from skin, so that will also play take an
Mhm.
effect or two. So I don't have a goal mind and be attached to it. Be flexible. For me, my goal is to be healthy and see what my how my body feels when I get to a certain weight.
Yes, because when he did his last body scan, they told him, they said, your next scan, you're probably going to be up in weight and to not be upset because you are consistently strength training. You are consistently doing these things. If you were up in weight, and that's why we say weight is not everything because they're sitting there and they're like, you will be healthier doing this, but your weight's going to go up.
Mhm.
So because it can be so frustrating seeing that weight go up, but if you know the reasons behind it, it is not as frustrating.
Absolutely. So just kind of a quick recap. You didn't gain all this weight all at once. You're not going to lose it all at once. It'll be more sustainable if you lose at a slower and steady pace. You won't be as likely to gain it back, and making sure you're as consistent as possible in both areas of your activity and you're eating healthy, so that you can keep moving towards your goal, whether it's slow or fast.
Yes. Everything that
Absolutely.
he said.
Yes. So I know that you all are here cheering us on for our goals. We're here to cheer you on as well, whether you've got 5 pounds or you've got 50 pounds to lose.
Yes, and with that, if you ever get frustrated, if you're ever just like, I am just not losing this weight as quickly as I think, or I'm just not losing this weight at all, we are here for you. We're here to talk about it. 'Cause like we said, we plateaued for a year and a half to 2 years. We know what it feels like to be like feeling like we're trying and it's just not going anywhere.
Mhm.
So we've been there before. So if you need someone to talk to about that, if you're just so frustrated, because we do not want you to give up.
Mhm.
That is what we do not want you to do. So we are here to encourage you through it, to talk you through it, because sometimes if you don't have those people to talk to, you will give up. And we don't want that.
Absolutely. And thanks, Mom.
My mom said we look amazing. So
Yes, of course we do. Thank you so much. So now let's move on to the recipe of the week.
yes, and just reminding you guys, in the month of August, I am doing dump and go crock pot meals, just for some easiness because a lot of you have kids that went back to school. Life's getting busy,
Mhm.
so dump and go crock pot meals are the best. And this is something that like I haven't heard of before, and it's really good. And I was like, this is a really good idea. So yeah.
All right, let's put the recipe up.
Yes. This is meatball pot roast. Super easy, super quick. You just throw it in there.
Also cheap.
Cheap, yeah. 2 pounds of turkey meatballs, which is it's a typical size bag, like bigger bag. 3 cups of baby carrots. Now you can add other vegetables like potatoes or celery. I put the baby carrots only because you don't have to cut those. You don't have to chop those. You don't have to do anything. You just throw them in there. Wash them, obviously, if they're not washed. But celery, those kind of things you would have to cut up. So put whatever vegetables you want. In the picture, there are other vegetables. Put whatever vegetables you want. But for the sake of this recipe being a dump and go, nothing else needed, we are just doing baby carrots. So turkey meatballs, baby carrots, brown gravy mix, onion soup mix, and water. Put the meatballs and baby carrots in the crock pot. Mix the 2 packets of gravy mix. You can do half if you're wanting to watch your sodium. This is a lot of meatballs and carrots. So a lot. For the flavor, I did 2 packets. Put 2 packets of gravy mix with the 2 cups of water and pour it over the meatballs and carrots. Sprinkle the soup mix over the top and just cook it. Cook it for 3 to 4 hours on low. Enjoy it over mashed potatoes, which is probably what we would do, rice, broccoli, any other vegetable. But keep in mind the vegetables, mashed potatoes, those kind of things do add bites, calories, and all those fun things.
Absolutely. So this is between 5 and 6 bites between the plans. Actually, all the plans except for one, it's 6 bites. 251 calories, 16.7 net carbs, and almost 20, so 19.9 grams of protein, which is amazing.
Yes, and this makes 8 servings. You can cut it down to 6 if you would like. Probably better if you're on like the calorie plan to do that. It would make it probably like 8 or 9 bites if you were on the bites plans, but calorie plan would make it like 325 calories, which is not bad. But you can make this if you want a bigger portion. But like I said, you can add other vegetables in there, but I did just the baby carrots because there's no chopping involved. You can also do the bags of like frozen chopped vegetables, which we do a lot. You probably wouldn't need to use as much water because that would add more moisture to it.
Yeah, we have a big bag right now, frozen. It's frozen onions and bell peppers, and so it's a really good to throw in. It would be really good to throw into something like this or for fajitas.
What did we get it for? We got it for something. Oh, I got it for Philly cheesesteak casserole. That's what I got it for.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to that.
I don't like chopping vegetables, so
no, not like that. But sometimes it's just so much more cheaper when a bell pepper is $1 per pepper, and the onions are not super duper cheap either. And we can get a ginormous bag of I think 3 pounds.
It was 3 pounds for like $6. It was something crazy like that.
So, yep, it's already prepped, washed, and chopped, and it's frozen. And we can just put in what
and if you want it, if it's for something that you need less water, like you can thaw it out beforehand, and then the moisture won't be there as much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. We're so glad to have you with us on this journey, and we're here to cheer you on as well. So we believe in you, and I know that you're going to do amazing things with your health and make amazing progress. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.